Welcome back for the 52nd time to yet another weekly video. And in this week's episode, I am excited and relieved and proud to tell you that this is the first time in 33 years that I've followed through on a New Year's resolution. My 2023 New Year's resolution was to make one video a week every week for the entire year.
As the clock strikes one and the memory lives just as it stood, like a quiet dream. The shadows of that time are cast beneath the streetlight beam.
All right. So, I'm relaxed, and this next bit of time, I do want to be less scripted. I want to be less YouTube-y here. I want to talk about the highlights and the lowlights of this past year and be really honest with you about the direction that I want to take this channel in the future. So, highlight number one for me is the support network and the support group that I have. My wife, Katie, she is the reason why I didn't fail at this project. Whether it's creating time and space in our personal lives to make these videos or actually being featured in the content, she was all in. And honestly, I think she was really motivated to help me see it through. And I really appreciate that amount of support that I received from her. And then my friends, there were three friends in particular that were kind of mainstays on the channel. Benny Marr, Caleb Grady, and Nick Troutman. And the content that surrounded my wife and those three, there was a lot more substantive content that came out of those experiences. And what really it came down to was the willingness to sit down and create a storyline and a story arc around the project with them, and their willingness to sit down and actually participate in an interview and have more time dedicated towards shooting that content. And with those videos specifically, I finished those projects and I felt satiated. I was satisfied at the end of the project, and then I was excited and hungry for the next one. And so partway through this year, I think I realized that the one video a week, every week, was just not going to be sustainable for me long term. And so I think the long-term vision for this channel is to slow down and not make as many videos in as quick a succession as I have been, but slow down and find stories of substance and content of substance that I want to create, and ultimately have a better and more polished product for people to watch long term. I think that's going to be what I need to stay creative and what I'll need to want to continue down the path of making these videos for YouTube. Highlight number two has to be how much I learned this year. And I've never taken a photography or videography class, but I feel like I've taken one this year using YouTube as my learning platform. And I just want to name some of the creators off that I really pulled some big lessons away from. Mark Bone, Cam Mackey, Peter McKinnon, Jevin Dovey, Life of Riza, Valandez, and Danny Gerverts. Like, there are so many free lessons available on YouTube, and these creators have made some of the best ones that I've come across, and I've been using their lessons throughout the year to increase the quality of what I've been making on this channel. And I'm incredibly grateful to them for having all of this free content and these free resources for us to use as we're all trying to become better at filmmaking, and I'm trying to become a better filmmaker personally. It's really pretty amazing that content is free and is available to us, you know, at any point in time that we want to watch it. So that's been kind of my second big highlight. Now, highlight number three really has to be having a creative outlet that is paired with meaningful feedback. YouTube is really unique in the sense that, unlike Instagram and Facebook, where you can generate a lot of likes and follows, there is a tremendous amount of meaningful feedback that also comes to you on this platform. And whether that is constructive criticism or people reaching out and saying, hey, I would love to create content with you, or just providing some really awesome feedback on your video of, I really liked how beautiful the images were, or I really liked the lighting in the scene, or whatever. That's meaningful feedback to me. And when you have the combination of meaningful feedback and constructive criticism, it is, again, another way that you can continue to learn and continue to earmark different skill sets and things that will continue to make me a better filmmaker. And so I think that would be highlight number 3, is just the community around YouTube and how the interactions are less superficial and more meaningful. That was something that I don't think I understood about the platform that I think I understand better now. My only con for this year stems from the YouTube metrics. And if you're a person that's trying to make a life out of creating content for YouTube, these metrics are really important. But if you're like me and you're not really trying to make a life on YouTube, but you're just trying to be creative and have fun, the metrics can also be something that you hone in on and you determine your value and your worth by. And I let that happen many times this year, even as recently as yesterday. And it's tough because you see these bars inside of these progress bars inside of your YouTube studio, and it shows you how close you are to monetizing your channel. And I got probably halfway through the year and I was super close to being able to monetize my channel. And I was noticing that the videos that I was being most creative in were not necessarily the ones that were returning the most views. And so I stopped making as many fun, creative videos that were really, fulfilling to me. And I started making highlight reels again because I wanted to monetize my channel. And then eventually I hit this plateau with that style of video where they weren't driving the same number of views and they weren't driving the same number of new subscriptions, and it was determining my self-worth. And that was really dangerous for me. And I think that would be my only warning, and my only suggestion or advice is really try to ignore the metrics as you're growing. Obviously, there is some importance if you're wanting to grow your channel and eventually monetize your channel, but don't let it determine your self-worth, and don't let it hinder your creativity, because when I would make a video and it didn't do well, it would really affect my desire and really hinder my ability to be creative, because I had associated all of my self-worth with those numbers. And I know that's really immature, but it is really easy when you spend as much time creating content as I've been this year to associate your self-worth and your value to the return on the investment of your time. So that would be my only con. That would be my only warning to anyone that's wanting to make YouTube videos and wanting to do something similar to this 1 video a week challenge, is don't really focus on the metrics for the first bit of time, because it will drive you insane. And I'm going to probably do a better job of trying to ignore those metrics for this next year, as I'm trying to reduce the number of videos and increase the quality of the videos that I'm making. That's going to be one of my goals for 2024, is reduce the number of videos, increase the quality, and ignore the metrics. Those will be my 3 things for this coming year. So, yeah. I really appreciate you sticking out with me to this point, and if you did, please drop a like down below. If you have any comments for me or any feedback for me on this video, please leave it in the comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please consider doing so. And yeah, I will probably not see you next week. All right, we'll see you around. Bye.